Hey guys, so today I am logged in on the beta again, and today I'm going to show you all the ultimate abilities. So there's many ultimate abilities. If I go to the spellbook, you can see there's some for attack, some for strength, some for defense, some are any of these? No, none for HP, range, and there's some for magic as well. Now I'm going to be showing you all the ultimate ones, and I'm going to be showing it on Duel Arena. So I just want to say thanks to MGS for helping me out with this, and I'm going to get into a deal now, and I'll start off with the range ultimates. Right guys, so I'm currently ranging and I've got up to the ultimate level. Now there's 3 ranged abilities. Now the lowest level one is called Deadshot. This requires any bow, it doesn't make a difference, and it basically what it does is fires a deadly shot at your target which deals 150% weapon damage instantly and a further 200% weapon damage over 6 seconds. So if I fire Deadshot, you can see it's some cool animation, and I actually hit 0 because he's in full torva. However, that's what it does, and it will, as you can see, it tells you the damage that it actually does. So now I'm going to get out to ultimate level again and show you the next one. Right, so I've reached ultimate level again, and now I'm going to use the highest level special. And I have it's called Unload, and this one is incredibly powerful. It unloads both your weapons at your target's current location for 6 seconds. Every 2 seconds, all targets standing at that location will take damage equal to 35% of their maximum life points. Now, something to note is that this is limited on PVM. Bosses have a limit to the amount of damage you can do. So I'm going to fire that. So let's see what this does. I know it does a lot of damage, this special. It's pretty much the best ultimate in the game. As you can see, it does absolutely massive damage. I just hit a shit ton of 2000s. So as you can see, this time I actually got him and switched to Vertus so that I could actually hit. I'm going to get up limit level again, and I'll fire the last one, which is Incendiary Shot. The last thing to note about Unload is that you have to use dual wielded range weapons. So for example, 2 crossbows. Right, so I've now got the ultimate level again. Now this last one requires a 2-handed bow. So I've switched to the Royal Crossbow, which if you don't know, was 1-handed before the update. As you can see, this one fires an explosive shot into your target, and which will detonate after 3 seconds, dealing damage equal to 30% of their maximum life points. So as you can see the difference, this one does 35% 3 times. Well, while in PVM, that might not be such a big, PvP, that might be not such a big deal because it's easy to move, and you'll only get to take the damage if you stood on the same spot. However, against PVM monsters which don't really move, that is great. Now this one will probably be better for PvP, so I'm going to fire it now. The Royal Crossbow actually has a low level, a low speed, and as you can see I just did 1.9k damage in 1 hit, which is pretty impressive. Now, so I'm going to move on to the melee specials, melee ultimates now, and I'll get up to ultimate level again. Now, I've got to ultimate level with melee now. Now, there was 3 melee ultimates based in the attack section. Now, the first one is Overpower, which can use any weapon, and what it does is steals 25% of the maximum life points of your target. So if I fire that now, Overpower, and you can see what it does. Is it going to do it? Do it? There we go. So you get a cool jump up animation, and you do 1975 damage if they're on a full HP. So that was pretty cool, and I'm going to get the ultimate level again, and we're going to go on to the next one. So we have now reached ultimate level again, and this time I'm going to be using the Massacre. Now this also requires dual wielded weapons, and what it does is destroys a target, dealing up to 200% both weapons damage instantly, and causing an additional 200% weapons of both weapons over 6 seconds. So that's incredibly powerful, so I'm just going to use that now. And did that just not do it? I'm just gonna get that again. Right, so I've reached the ultimate level. I'm gonna cast this Massacre. I think it's because I interrupted it. Oh, it didn't cast it. Oh, it's still on its cooldown. Right, there we go. See, I think I interrupted it by accidentally clicking or something. Oh wow, that was bad. Is it gonna do the extra damage over 6 seconds? I think that's just because I hit a 0. I think that's all. I think that's just the problem. I just happened to hit a 0, but you can see what it does, and you can just read from the description what it actually does. So I'm going to get up to ultimate level again so I can cast the last one. So we now move on to the last attack-based ultimate, and this is called Meteor Strike, and this one requires a 2-handed melee weapon. So I'm going to switch to my maul and make sure I keep my bar up, and what it does is it crashes down a meteor on your target, dealing equal to 40% of the maximum life points. Only usable if your target has over 50% life points remaining. So as you can see, he's well over 50%, and obviously that's because you might absolutely smash them to pieces, obviously if they're below 50%. So if I use it now, I jump up in the air, smash a meteor down, and I happen to hit a 0. So that was pretty crap, wasn't it? But if I had hit, I would have hit 40%. He just happened to not get hit, but you can see the moles. That looks pretty awesome. I can imagine this took a lot of work for the graphics team. So now I'm going to move on to the strength-based ones. So I imagine there's another 3 ultimates on here. Pulverize, Frenzy, and I assume there's another one. Is it Quake? Ultimate, Berserk. So I'm going to get up to ultimate level again, and we can see what we can do with them. So I've got the ultimate level, and again I'm going to cast the first one. Is going to be Berserk. Now this is the one you can use with any weapon, and it requires only 42 strength, and what it does is it harnesses your adrenaline to increase all damage dealt, but also the damage received by 100% for 10 seconds. So I think this is probably one of the worst ones. So I've got 10 seconds, and as you can see it'll be on here, Berserk, but I'll be dealt double, but they'll be dealt double also. So really it's not that good. Obviously you'll be using abilities, and that'll increase the damage output, but I don't think that's a very good ability. I'm going to get to ultimate level again, and then we can use the higher level ones. So I've now reached ultimate level. Now I'm going to use the highest level one for the strength abilities. Now this requires level 86 strength and dual wielded weapons. So as you can see, I'm wielding my 2 rapiers, and this one is very similar to the unload one. However, this is for melee, and as you can see I'm going to slash them with both my rapiers. I'm going to hit some massive amounts of hits. I used this on bandos if you've seen my other video, and I hit really hard. And again, it is a really powerful weapon. I use it on Calfight Queen, and it all really hits well wherever you go. So now I'm going to get Pulverize, and this one will be for 200 melee weapon, so for my C-Maul. So again, ultimate level, and I'm going to use Pulverize now, which deals 300% weapon damage and reduces the damage dealt by 25% for 10 seconds. So basically this is going to help you defensively as well as doing a load of damage. So as you can see, the hit wasn't as high as some of the other ultimates. However, it's going to reduce the damage I'd be taking if I was actually in a proper fight. But you can see that that's going to be pretty useful, especially in PvP situations. So I'm going to move on to Magic, and this has some awesome, in my opinion, abilities. Right, so I've reached ultimate level on Mage, and now again there's 3 ultimates. There's a low level one, and this one is called Omnipower. Now I was using this from Glacios, I found it very effective. It worked really well actually, and this uses bombard your target with each of the 4 elements, dealing damage equal to 25% of the maximum life points. So again, it's something that can do a lot of power. So I'm going to use it now. Hopefully this will hit pretty good. And as you can see, it managed to hit the 25%. So I'm going to get the ultimate again, and there's another 2 ultimates for this. Right, so now I'm going to use Metamorphosis. Now I'm sure you've seen this on the videos where he turns into the fire guy or whatever element. Now I'm using fire, the fire element, so I will transform into a fire guy. And this, what it actually does, it increases your damage output by 25%, and it lasts for 20 seconds, which is actually pretty good. 25% over 20 seconds, it's going to add up to a lot of extra damage. So, especially if I'm using the abilities. So if I'm using the other abilities, I'm really going to see a massive increase, like in the amount of power, the amount of damage I'm doing. So I'm using quite a lot of basic abilities at the minute, and you want to get out the threshold level within this. And Asphyxiate is a very good ability, and it's going to choke them for 6 seconds and do quite a lot of damage, as you can see. So Metamorphosis is a very good one to use, and now I'm going to get up to ultimate level and use Tsunami. Right, so I've reached the ultimate level and I'm going to use Tsunami. Now what this does is summons forth a destructive wall of water, damaging all targets in a frontal cone for damage equal to 200% of your active spell's damage. So basically I'll do double damage, and I'll do it to every single opponent that's in this cone here. I think it's the 3 tiles here, possibly behind, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to use it. I know this one looks pretty awesome. You like jump on top of the Tsunami and it hits forward and crushes down on the opponent. Now that only hit 231, and basically that's because my regular hit would have been 115 or 116, so I didn't actually do a powerful normal hit, so it wasn't exactly that good. I think a lot of them are pretty awesome. They look awesome, but Metamorphosis especially is really powerful, and it's definitely one you want to be using. So anyway, that is the main combat abilities. However, there are some defense ultimates. Now these can be very useful, so I'm going to get up to max level and start using some of these. Right, so I've now reached ultimate level, and I'm going to be using the 3 defense ultimates. Now the first one is, if I can find it, Immortality. Now this is a low level one actually, and for I think most of these you need to wear a shield. Yeah, you need to wear a shield for Barricade, and you need to wear a shield for, no, you don't need to wear a shield for Rejuvenate. So both of them, the first 2, you can use regardless of what you're wearing. So if I use Immortality, I'll use that. Now he can't actually kill me. So if I tell him to kill me, and I'm going to have to try and die here, if he goes for it, maybe you can kill me in the time. So, but what the ability does, if I go on it, it says you become an immortal. Any damage you receive is reduced by 25% for 30 seconds. So that's quite a big reduction, and for quite a long period, and for such a low level ability, which is only 29 defense. And if you die in this period, you will miraculously return to life. However, the immortality effect will be consumed. So if you die, you won't get the damage reduction anymore, but you'll be healed, because you'll be respawned, obviously. But he's not actually going to manage to kill me in this, so you won't get to see the effect. But what basically happens is a big hand comes up and picks me up from when I'm about to die, so that'll save me. So I'm going to get to ultimate level again, and I can show you the upper two. Right, so again I've reached ultimate level, and I'm going to use Rejuvenate. Now what Rejuvenate does, if I click it, you'll see, and as what actually happens is, it'll tell you what it does here, and it says channel your adrenaline to help restore your life points, so healing health and drain stats over time. So if I was actually damaged, this would be, if I wear my 12 will it count as damage? I'm not sure. Basically what it does is, you've got your adrenaline and it'll drain it all, and you'll get healed instead. It'll help your HP, and it'll also, any stats that have been drained, so if they've been using leeches, your stats might have went down to like 50 strength or so, and that'll go back up. And so that's probably more useful in PvP situations than in game against NPCs. But I'm not quite sure how useful that'd be. Now there's one last ability, and I'm going to get to ultimate level for that. Right, so again I've reached ultimate level. Now this is the one that requires a shield. It's called Barricade, and what this does, it prevents all incoming damage for 10 seconds. So if I tell him to attack me, then he should be able to do some damage to me, and you'll see he'll stop being able to hit when I raise this. So I raised the barricade, so as you can see, I got a little animation of shields coming up over me, and for 10 seconds he won't be able to hit me, which I guess could be pretty good if you think your opponent's going to use a big special attack or a big ultimate, or possibly in a boss fight when you know you're about to get damage, or you're tanking or something. So you can see in the future what actually happens with actually using in PvP. Obviously I'm not a big PvPer, but you'll be able to test them out yourselves. Now I hope you found this video insightful and useful to find out what they do. So there is 3 ultimates on every single section, apart from the Constitution section, which has 2 quite useful abilities, mainly more useful the Regenerate one. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I've really enjoyed messing around a bit, and I hope if you haven't got access, you will be able to obviously access it on the weekends in the future to use it, and I'm sure you can test them out yourselves. But until then, I hope you enjoy the videos and seeing like more about the beta, finding more out, and I'm definitely looking forward to the actual releasing game. Obviously there's quite a lot of bugs left at the minute. A lot of people are scared and looking at Divine and Ellie's thinking, what the hell, they've got no use. But that's just because at the minute they haven't actually finished a lot of the things, so the beta isn't actually complete. I mean, the update isn't ready to release. There's quite a lot of things that you can't access because they haven't simply been finished. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.